I can tell you guys are both beaming with energy right now. You guys, you seem so upbeat. You didn't spend the half hour before the show bitching. You definitely didn't do that. But you guys, you seem just to be alive with the sound of music. That's great. I'm so happy this is going well for you guys. Staying fit, just being happy.
I feel fit. I will say that. I feel like I've lost so much weight. I'll wait a day. Eventually, like I'll have like a more accurate reading when water levels aren't fluctuating so wildly. But I've lost pounds and pounds and pounds.
It's hard to tell right now because of just the water weight. I feel like we're gonna need to be a few weeks in before we can tell what fat has dropped.
I haven't weighed in. I don't expect. I've started increasing my caloric intake a week before the competition. Because I'm serious like that.
I did 10 days because I'm more serious.
Yeah. I did about 15 years because I really meant business.
Kyle, can you lay out what happened yesterday? And I want to reply with what happened in my day.
Yeah. This is going to be a good little segment here, so stick around, even if fitness talk might not be your thing. So I had to help a friend move yesterday, and I had to. I'd agreed to do it. It was going to take all day at least, and so I got up at like 4 in the morning or something. Maybe it's a little fuzzy, but roughly 4:30 in the morning. I put my my belt on, and I was like, you know what? Not even going to fuck around with my phone, like staring at my heart rate all day. That's going to slow me down. Turned the phone off. Went to work moving boxes. There's a lot of shit to move. I think it took roughly 9 hours of moving, and I wasn't done. I did more moving today. So I did 9 hours of moving. I got home at these are roundabout numbers, but let's just say 3 p.m. after 9 or 10 hours of moving boxes and hustling around, and it was pitiful. I had earned 707 MEPs.
Not pitiful, by the way. That is good by most standards.
Oh, yeah.
By anyone's standards but this competition. That's
Taylor,
yeah.
Not to shit on Taylor or Chiz, but neither one of them have earned 700 in a workout yet.
I did.
Oh, okay. Well, not to shit on Chiz, but he hasn't earned 700 is strenuous. 700 is a really long, hard workout. Even if you max everything out, it's
hours.
Like 2.5, 3 hours of full maximum burn. So I was very disappointed in this, especially when I saw that Woody had done 956 that morning, all in a solid burn, what I call the Yellow River, because he just gets into yellow and he stayed there for like 3 or 4 hours, something like that,
it's
something rough.
Horrible.
And so at 4 p.m. I started running, and I didn't stop running for a long time. It was maybe 9:30, 10 p.m., maybe 5-6 hours of running. And I was thinking like, well, I've already made up that little bit of ground that Woody had picked up this morning. That 250 is long gone. I was at like 500 MEPs or something like that, maybe a little more. And so I checked the app to see what Woody was up to.
You texted me and said, congratulations on your workout or something.
I'll get to that.
Okay.
Because that's after your workout had ended.
Yeah.
But I look and I see when your workout is about halfway through, and I'm like, motherfucker is going again. He's like 2.5 hours in, and so I start running hard.
All yellow again.
I was just about to quit, but I was like, he's going Yellow River again. I gotta fucking burn. So I start running again. I'm running hard again, going and going and going, and an hour went by, and I checked, and he's still going, and so I went back to running, and an hour went by. And I looked, and he was still fucking going. And I could see, like, up to the minute updates. So, like, it's not that, like, he quit 20 minutes ago and it just hasn't updated. No. He was going 2 minutes ago, hard as fuck. And so I'm just running. And finally, after 5 solid hours of burn, of solid yellow burn, with red streaks, like, every half hour.
Those are accidents.
Of course they are.
Yeah, I don't mean that.
All of our reds are accidents.
Yeah.
He finally quits at 1,227 MEPs in a single workout. And so I'm feeling pretty defeated because I went into this day with like a 18 or 1900 MEP lead over Woody. And I'm like, well, shit, he's made up a good amount of that. He's probably made up like 800 of it today. And I was thinking about quitting. And I texted Woody, and let me pull up our text conversation. I'm not going to reveal anything that you wouldn't want to. I don't think we said anything weird or anything you wouldn't want me to say. I said, Great workout, very impressive. He says, you have no idea. I'm cooling off now. I'm done. I said, I helped a girl move today. I got shitty MEPs. He goes, you got 1,300 so far. That's a lot, because this was the end of my day. I got 700 in the morning, and I had earned an additional 800 at this point in a single workout. I said, I thought if I started early and I'd be done and I'd get a real workout, but it took all day. I may be underplaying it a bit, but basically I averaged gray all day, and then I had to start jogging this evening. Woody goes, I hit the bike. I rested, then I did it again, the stationary bike. I said, I've been running since, I've been awake since 4 or 5 a.m. This is 10 p.m. He goes, I had a nap. And I know what he means is he took a nap between his awful grueling workouts. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I have more shit to move at 6 a.m. You know, in 8 hours from now, I have to get back to moving boxes. And Woody goes, good. Smiley face. And that's when I decided the workout wasn't over. That smiley face made me very upset. And so I put all 3 pairs of my socks back on. I put my rain hat back on, and I went out into the fucking storm, and I ran, and I ran, and I ran for 6 more hours.
My start of the story.
I ran for 10 hours with only breaks to make fucking sandwiches, which were hastily made. It was just bread and pimento cheese and iced water. And
so they weren't good sandwiches.
They tasted so good because I was so goddamn hungry. They were so good. And by the end of it, I beat his workout for that evening, but I was still like 300 MEPs behind because he had gotten that 956 earlier in the day to my 700. So today I moved boxes again for, I don't know what it was, 8 more hours, earned really shitty MEPs again, and got like 300 more MEPs. And so...
Is that all you got today? 300 MEPs, something?
Yeah. Like
you still gain. Can I tell my side?
Well, by today... I'm not counting all of the early morning stuff. Like it, you know. It gets,
last night is today.
Yeah. It's thousands every day, or it's well over 1,000 every day that I've averaged. Please give your side of yesterday, because I'm so curious.
So mine starts earlier than that. It's the night before yesterday. This is a Tuesday. I'm hesitant to call things a migraine, but I had a headache and I was sensitive to light, and I was just kind of dreading my second workout. I've been doing 2 a days. My attitude has changed. If you watched this last week, I was Mr. Blue, right? I was kind of afraid of being sore. It's rekindled an earlier version of me where I start workout sore, and it's just like, yeah, fuck you and fuck your soreness. It'll wear off mid-workout. That's what happens. And I'm getting off topic. The night before, I had this migraine, and I'm kind of like dreading my second session. Kyle offers a ceasefire, right? This is spinning back and forth in my head in a bunch of different ways. If he's offering a ceasefire, perhaps the ceasefire is advantageous to him more so than me. But I do literally have a migraine right now. There's a ring light staring in my eyes that's killing me as he's offering this ceasefire. I badly want it. This might just be a win-win. He might not be the Prince of Darkness offering me this disadvantageous deal. I think I added
exactly what it was. Exactly what it was.
Right.
I didn't like the idea of getting MEPs on you when you had a migraine, and I was going to spend the evening with a friend, and I would have loved. I looked forward to an evening of relaxation. I hadn't had one all week.
So I knew that he was with his friend. And I invented in my head that perhaps the next day he would still be with that friend, and that would hurt his ability to earn MEPs. Unbeknownst to me, he was going to spend like fucking 16 hours moving boxes, right? I thought maybe they'd catch up on Trailer Park Boys or something like that. That's a Kyle-like activity, right? That's it. Yeah. So I wake up in the morning having not done a 2-a-day the day before. I am 19 years old at this point, and I am like, fucking yeah, let's do this shit, right? I hit it. I hit the Yellow River, and it's just a river of pain. I don't like it. The whole time, Chael Sonnen's head is in my head. 2 things happen. One, I'm either in a flow state where I'm kind of not thinking about anything. I'm halfway through Making of a Murderer Part 2. No idea what's happening. I can't keep up with it. I don't know any of the things I watched.
You don't know any. It's just
Did he do it or not? I have
nothing is getting absorbed.
Nothing.
Nothing. Out.
Here's what I can tell you about Making a Murderer Part 2. His new attorney, not that hot. Right? That's what I've picked up so far in like the 5 hours of content I've absorbed through that on Just Paint. And the other thing that happens occasionally, things Rogan said and Sonnen said. Chael Sonnen has this thing. It's failure is an option, right? He's like, people tell you failure is not an option. Failure is always an option. Failure is the most readily achievable option. It is right there seducing you the entire time. Anytime you want to fail, you can turn left or you can turn right. Just go left. It's there. It's there, softly asking for you to come. And I just say no. I just say no. I just like, yeah. It like, and it's not that I don't want to. It's that I know how I grade myself after I back out of something, and it's not where you want to be, right? It feels like a loss. If there's a challenge and I decide, no, I don't think so, then the future me will not approve of who you're being. So
you had a great tweet the other day where you were like, if you wanted it to be easy, you shouldn't have invited me. And then yesterday you poured out just a day where I didn't want to troll you too hard, but I'm like, well, Woody has hired Usain Bolt and he's in North Carolina now, clearly. Because like I was like from the outside looking in, like I wasn't able to work out while I was checking your guys' shit yesterday with all that. And it was like, first of all, I could tell from the numbers updating, I'm like, oh, Kyle must be getting frustrated. And then my second thought was like, how the fuck is Woody doing this right now?
It's
like,
not
this
that
is
bad.
Bananas.
Like once you get into the yellow, maintaining yellow is achievable. You just have to not quit. And sometimes I do like little micro quits or something, and then I see it turn green or get a stripe, and I'm just like, no.
I don't see that. I see a little stripe of green, but I was thinking, when does he piss?
Oh, no.
Who's bringing him water?
I'm barely pissing at all when I'm on the bike. Like I'm sweating it all out.
So that piss could be a green. The green stripe could be a piss. It doesn't do much though. I'm just going. Oftentimes not thinking, but sometimes thinking about quitting. Those are I think about nothing or I think about quitting, and I just keep going. I see myself in that fucking mirror still. Right? You look the same. You know. Yeah,
it's way harder to get from like 50% to 80+% than it is to just stay 80+. Like I think is what you're saying, right?
Yeah, yeah. Once I hit 80, then like holding 80 is not that bad. Just don't quit. Just go. It's not my heart. Like I don't feel my heart or my lungs or anything. It's my quads, really. Like quads. And sometimes I'll give them a rest and I'll push with my hands on the bike. It's like, what are you not cheating? It's a heart rate competition. You can push on your knees all you want, right? Yeah. That's allowed. And and it's just been raining lately, so all I've done is like indoor stationary bike shit. And
when I saw the rain clouds come, I checked the Doppler for North Carolina. When I saw that coming, I thought it was a good thing for me. I was like, can't run now. What you gonna do? I didn't know there was a stationary bike in your daughter's room.
Yeah. I'm actually better at the bike that I like in terms of mental health, the bike is worse. Like it breaks me. But in terms of MEPS, it's better. I just have a flow on the bike.
You should switch to like a comedy show or something like you don't need to like absorb, like a plot thing.
It's all wasted on me. I was starting to say, I thought Kyle yesterday was going to be hanging with his friend, watching Trailer Park Boys or something like that, and like I used to be a competitive cyclist when I was younger, and you make a move, like you make your break, you time it, and yesterday was my move. Right, yesterday I thought I caught Kyle flat-footed and just laid it down, and then today, so yesterday I got over 2,000 MEPs. Today, 50. Does anyone even know what I got? Was it 50 something?
Yeah, let me pull it up because it's.
Yeah, we should give the update to everybody as well. The actual score update.
Hold off on that, but yeah, today you got 49. You worked for today you got 49, and look, in your defense, I got 245. You know,
I got
like,
570 today.
Well,
oh,
congratulations.
good for you. You're closing in on it. So
I'm closing in on Chiz, and that's the goal.
but the day before, like Woody, I think I had like a 1,800 point lead going into yesterday, and Woody made that 1,500 or
Like
something.
a 1,500 point lead.
Yeah, he made it like 1,500. He caught me by 300 points before I finally went to sleep, and then I made all that back up today, and it's once again 1,809 is my current lead. It's
maybe mine hasn't updated.
Dude, so today I barely worked out. All I did is I hit the bike for 15 minutes or so to loosen up, just get the blood flowing, hoping for a recovery day. Because when I worked out like an actual athlete, I didn't go 2-a-days, 7 days a week. Like, you had rest days. That's how you did it. Rest days are as important as the work day. You need, so that was the thought process. But I couldn't fucking take it. Like, I'm feeling anxious about. Chiz's original name for this was No Fucks November, right? And the idea was you don't give a fuck about anything but this. This dominates all your thoughts all day, all night, constantly. And I'm just like, yeah, fuck, I should be working. I should be doing something. I'm walking. If you can walk, you can bike. Fuck you, right? So I go out and I go to this restaurant and I'm all like fucking spastic, like barely in control of myself. I spill my drink, right? I spill it across my table and the restaurant floor, right? And I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what's happening. Like, I can't, I'm freaking anxious and I'm not in my right mind because I haven't earned any MEPs at all. And it's like 3 p.m. or later. And the waiter comes over, greatest guy. He's cleaning the table and he's like cleaning the floor. And I'm trying to explain to him that I'm just like a little out of sorts. And I hit him. I hit the waiter with my out of control arms. And it just, I was like,
I got carried away. So I hit him again.
I was like, oh, like I think the table's a little sticky, and it made me blink the menu into the drink, and then and as I'm like miming it, I hit the waiter, and the waiter's like,
told you's rude. Told you's rude.
And the waiter's this totally cool about it. I double tipped him, and there's an Uber Eats guy there. I don't know what he is. Do we have any sponsors along? I don't know, but there's clearly a guy whose job is to like deliver food from a place that doesn't deliver food, and he was being everyone was being totally cool about it. I feel like an ass. I'm changing tables. Hitting waiters.
What was the tap like? Was it one of those things where you accidentally like hit another man's genitals lightly, and you're like, well, I know he noticed, and I know I did, and we'll never speak of it? No, or was it like you hit him in the thigh or the belly?
I think it was like either the like collarbone neck type thing is where I hit him, and I hit him with the tips of my fingers, but it wasn't a light enough hit that we can both like brush it off. It was like I just karate chopped this poor man because I'm not really the full.
Like your motor skills are just off.
Yeah, I it's anxiety around earning MEPs, and I was kind of. It was a rest day. Look, I've come in and out of this quit zone a million times, so don't put too much weight in that. But like, I'm kind of in this quit zone. I come back, I do 50 MEPs, and I'm just like, whatevs. And I go to the PKA subreddit. I didn't realize that I had a fan base on this thing. Have you guys been to the PKA subreddit? Like, I've been popping in, and I saw that as I, like, whatever. I think I might have started in... The first week was in 4th or 3rd or something, but on the board. And, but as I guess the tweets and stuff have been getting some traction, and the subreddit was very motivating for me. Like, they're all calling me Superboy, but not pejoratively. They're just,
they're cheering you on.
They really are. And like, even before the competition started, there was like a 1% that was cheering me on just because they had my back, and I really did take some strength from that. But what I have now, like, thank you, like they're being super cool, and it's driving. So that
the current scoreboard is Taylor has 4,519.
What place is that?
Fourth.
Okay.
Chiz has 5,034. Woody has 9,333. This is a weekend. I think it's important to put this in context for Joe Rogan's. Joe Rogan's winning score of 11,253. I have 10,896. I'm gonna break Joe Rogan's record tomorrow. I was thinking about doing it today, but
I need that rest day.
I had 4 hours of sleep in like the last 36 hours or something like that, and I got a nap in. So I'm gonna crush Rogan's record tomorrow. But like I was telling you before the show, I've got bad news. I've got stuff coming up this month, and I'm basically gonna have about as much time as Taylor has in a day for the rest of this thing. I've got my legal situation is finally wrapping up, so I've got meetings with lawyers. I've got like court appearances. Like I've got to, and when I do that, I've got to drive like an hour and a half one way, and then I'm there for 6 hours, and then it's an hour and a half back home. And it's just the whole day, and I can't be up the whole night before doing it. So I'm going to keep working out, but I'm basically whatever. I don't know how to say it, but giving you first place. You've earned first place. That sounded bad. Like I don't want to underplay what you've done because it's incredible. That workout you did yesterday.
We're only a weekend.
Was bonkers. But he's not going to stop. Like he's certainly not going to stop. And there's no way I have enough time to continue to do this. Like 1,000 reps a day is nuts. It's nuts.
So many hours in a day to put to this.
It's so many hours. And the way I've been doing this thing, because I was looking at doing this thing for a month, is I've been doing like lots of, I don't know, I'll average maybe greenish yellow or something like that, but it'll be like blue, green, yellow, 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 then cool down and then go again. I've been working out for longer periods of time than Woody, but not nearly as intense, because I felt like that was better at not breaking anything on my body. Because I've been getting, I didn't tell Woody because I wouldn't want to show any weakness, but I started getting nosebleeds on day 4, and every time I blow my nose now, it's bloody, and every time I clean the boogers out of my nose, they're red and bloody. And Did it
start like mid-workout, like where you just started bleeding, or was it like you blew your nose and then it started bleeding?
It started bleeding mid-workout, and it's just from breathing cold air through my nose. Just breathing air-conditioned air, I'm breathing so much through my nose. I hope that's what it is. And my feet are fucking covered in blisters. I showed you guys before the show.
Yeah, do you want to show your foot again?
God.
So you have basically a whole board in your foot from all this activity.
So that doesn't look bad. It really doesn't. But the camera's just not doing it justice, because what it is, there's a hole in the bottom of my big toe there that I filled up with super glue. I just filled the blister hole up with super glue. And there's 2 or 3 more blisters that, again, just don't show up very well.
Filled with super glue?
What I've been doing is rubbing them with rubbing alcohol, every time I take my socks off. When I run with 3 pairs of socks. One pair of running socks that are what is that wool? Merano wool or something like that?
Yeah, some kind of wool to wick away everything.
And then I take another pair and I put it on backwards. I take the hole and I put it on my heel, and then I take the rest of the sock and drape it up my Achilles tendon, and then I put a long sock that goes up to my mid calf on over that to hold it in place, because the backs of both my Achilles tendons are I won't say bloody, but wounds. They're open wounds on the back of both my Achilles tendons. Can
you show that? Is there a divot in there? Because I know Woody knows too. Skates do that to you on the back of the Achilles area. Yeah,
they can. Yeah, I don't have any. So here's the deal. My right knee, when I skate, every 200th push or something will be a little bit jammy. It just wasn't smooth. And the dogs are barking now. So the right knee is a tiny bit worn, but mostly I'm okay. Stationary bike doesn't break you.
Yeah,
stationary bike just makes your quads really sore. But even then, my quads will get sore and my knees will be sore. But it's not the kind of pain where it's oh man, I'm going to be injured soon. I don't have any calluses I didn't have before. I don't have any blisters or anything. And even on the stationary bike, the first 8 minutes, I'll say, of a workout, you're this is never going to get better. This sucks. I've finally hit the wall of it sucking the whole time. And 10 minutes after that, I'll be watching King of the Hill, and I'll be what you were being a little bitch 10 minutes ago. It's already gone. Now it's just it goes from soreness, and then 10 minutes later, it gives way to profound boredom.
Yeah, every so often.
Experienced.
Like, have you guys watched Big Mouth? No?
Is that cartoon
it's
that's
a
kind of
Netflix
raunchy?
cartoon, pretty raunchy, about kids and puberty. Pretty pedo.
I've seen some of that.
Well, anyway, there's a puberty monster in there. There's a fear monster, I think, and it basically just represents the children's like inner dialogue. And there is a quit monster that comes to visit on the exercise bike every so often. On the skateboard, not really. It's like, this is kind of fun. I think I'll just keep going till dinner time. You know, I get every lap. There's a different routes I can take around my neighborhood and the adjacent ones. And at this point, I've worked out like how many MEPs I get from like a different route. And it's like, oh, I guess I'll just go around like the big hill and I'll come back. That'll be 75 more than I have now. And then I'll come in and eat and it'll be fun. The exercise bike isn't like that at all, but it's more MEPs per hour, and you can do it in the rain.
Yeah.
Anyway, I feel like Fitness Talk has maybe gone on too long.
No, I don't think so. I think that was. if anyone complains,
it's more
about
funny
that,
because you guys are really frustrated right now with it. Like that's entertaining.
I'm sad. I'm sad because like I got the news today. They're like, you know, this thing's coming to an end. You know, this is my lawyers. We need to meet with you this day and that day. We're going to discuss this and that. And we're going to go over this. And I'm just like, well, how long will that take? And they're like, oh, well, several hours. And it's an hour and a half drive to my lawyers as well. So my days are full for the rest, like basically the rest of this month, like into December, when this thing will be done.
You still got to push.
No.
And
like what I've been saying from the beginning is this, like it shouldn't be just about the MEPs. Like the real winners are the ones who, the day after this ends, you decide that you actually are going to include some cardio in your workout now.
Dude, I had a thought on that, by the way, because I feel like Chiz has not been getting the credit for winning that he deserves.
He's working his ass off. Yeah.
Chiz is working his ass. Kyle has the most MEPs. I might have the most time in the yellow, but I think Chiz is enduring the most pain.
For
right?
Sure.
Chiz has blisters and back pain and challenges that we don't. Chiz came into this less fit than any of the three of us. And what he
I want to say I was second least fit, and I still am. Because
I don't think anyone's debating that.
Because I feel like well, Kyle's got no excuses. Of course he's in the lead, breaking world records. Meanwhile, I'm not taking anything away from what he did, especially yesterday. But what he did yesterday was super.
But if you combine yesterday and today, it gets pretty human because I didn't do shit.
Yeah, fuck today. Fuck today. I'm talking about yesterday.
I have a very harsh.
And you also need to remember the
grading system.
Chiz like joking about the JV athlete thing. Woody is legitimately a collegiate athlete.
Yes.
Like that sort of athleticism doesn't just pop up at that age and then just go away forever. Like athletic people stay athletic.
We talk about Woody's calves. They're not just for show. All right? My calves are a third the size of Woody's. I've got skinny legs. I can't tell you how many miles I've ran, but it's dozens and dozens. There was one night where I ran 15 fucking miles in one night. I don't know what I ran last night because there's no way to keep track of it because I just laps around the neighborhood. I have no idea. But one night I ran 6 miles into town and back and then did 3 fucking more. All right? It's absurd the amount of work, and he's still not that far behind. Woody has been killing it, and I get that he's 45 years old, but he's not 85 years old. Leading up to this thing, what have we been doing? I have been getting very good at Call of Duty. Woody bought a home gym 6 months ago and has been pumping iron and working out hard, and that paramotor thing is constant running with a backpack on. Like especially when it's paragliding, like it's running up and down hills. I was worried about Woody the whole time. I just wouldn't want to say that publicly.
I recognize that Kyle's circumstances are changing, and that's good. Well, it's not over yet, but you know that could lead to me winning.
Not for a long shot.
But especially after going to the PKA subreddit, I was not done yet. We were only 1 week in. And I might have won. We'll see.
Yeah, you're killing it. I'm blown away by how much effort you're putting in. Like none of your workouts are phoning it in. It's all like straight up hard work. I actually this week
first ones
I
wore
it
not phoning it
twice.
In, but anyway.
Like Kyle's like resting heart rate being so high. Like originally I was like, I'm only gonna wear this during workouts. And then I was like, what if your resting heart rate is fucked up? And so I wore it for like a whole day just to see. And my heart rate is not fucked up. I didn't earn anything.
Yeah.
So.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So I weed whacked my yard. For people who don't know, my yard is 14.65 acres, right? It's work to weed whack my yard. There's a horse fence on the outer edge. I'm not saying it's a cardio workout. Clearly it's not. I'll reveal my MEP number in a second. But after you've weed whacked 14 acres, you know you did something, right? Like your body, like it's just carrying a small motor around. That's what it is. 24 MEPs I burnt. 24 MEPs. And I was like, that son of a bitch burned 254 MEPs doing painkiller already. And I burnt 24 MEPs weed whacking my 14-acre yard.
I get excited on this show. I love this.
We all get excited and we all get jittery. There's
nobody is as excited as me, though, and I can prove it.
I can prove it with my heart rate.
Like I've worn the thing like when I'm just like watching YouTube or like on Discord, like playing Call of Duty. No MEPs, none. Like literally what you got on PKA. But when on PKA, I'm just tense. I'm jittery. I'm fucking moving around. I'm fucking engaged.
Usually got a couple
yesterday,
Monster coffees in you.
In the middle of the day, I did rest. But another thing that we're babysitting a baby. So I don't know how much a 6-month-old weighs. Call it like 14 pounds, something like that. I'm walking around. I'm jiggling and singing and doing, I'm trying to keep a 6-month-old baby happy who's fussing at the time. That is worth 0 MEPs. Right, 0 MEPs. I was busy. I couldn't look. I only have my phone. I don't have the watch. And afterwards, I'm like, I wonder how many MEPs I got walking around the house with this baby bouncing and jiggling. And 0, or maybe 1, something like that. Like I earn MEPs by actually exercising.
Yeah.
And
I hate how quickly my heart rate goes back to nothing. Where like I'll burn myself out on the bike and be like, okay, I'm finishing at 87 here. I can get off and sit down and like check Twitter or something and check my email and see if any other houses showed up. And then within like 45 seconds, I'll like look over and it'll be like 48%. I'm like, no, that can't be right. No, I'm already out. And then I'll like get up and like start marching in place while I'm just trying to get something.
I'm the opposite, Taylor. So mine's not 45 seconds. Mine's like 5 or 7 or 10 minutes or something that it keeps going. But when I finish my workout, I want to get this godforsaken man boob enhancer off. I hate it. I'm mad at it. It smells bad. I don't want to wear it. It's I don't know, like a token, a reminder of things that hurt me.
It's not flattering. Also, yeah.
Say that again. Oh, it's not flattering. No.
At all.
And so I'm like, God, I want to take this flipping thing off, but there's still some MEPs rolling in, So I got to wear it to the end.
I've noticed I usually am in the blue for like the whole time I stretch after working out.
Yeah.
Like just stretching gets me in the blue.
Yeah.
We should change topic.
And I think that my high heart rate is a testament to how hard I've been working, if you think about it. Because it's not like I'm keeping that high heart rate for 20 minutes. I'm having to work with a very inefficient engine for hours.
Kyle has been building this inefficient engine for 32 years.
I'm a V8 running on 6 cylinders, driving to town and back.
Oh, something like unexpected for me. Like I think I texted our group that I've been drinking a bunch of Pedialyte because I was looking online and it was like drink a bunch of Pedialyte. It's got potassium and sodium and it's going to do way better for you than just drinking water. And it's got carbs, like a little bit of sugar in there to give you energy.
Any side effects from that?
Yeah, a couple side effects of it. And so I didn't read the actual bottle. And so for 3 straight days, I just like went and bought a ton of off-brand Pedialytes and was just drinking that instead of water. And like I've been eating pretty good for the most part. And so like yesterday I went and like I had like 2 shits and like both of them were just diarrhea. Just total diarrhea. And I was like, this doesn't make any sense. I've been eating good. I've been drinking tons of fluids. Like, what's going on? And then I went and I read the side of like the Pedialyte thing. And it was like, don't use this as a total replacement for water. Use this as a supplement. Too much ingestion may result in watery diarrhea, watery stools or something. So I'm like, all right, I'm so hydrated that I'm just shitting Pedialyte at this point. And so hopefully that goes away. I've cut down on the Pedialyte. Now I'm just back on regular water.
Yeah, man.
So,
yeah.
And Woody was talking about not absorbing anything from this. I think maybe it's because I've been watching 100% the same show the whole time. I've been going through King of the Hill. But like I think I'm being indoctrinated by Hank a little bit. Like now walking around houses that like I'm looking at, like my mom or anybody I'm like who's coming to look at it too, if it's one that I like, will be like, oh, and this is really neat over here. It has a powder room, and like it's almost like Hank comes into me. He's like, now why would I need a powder room in my own home? and that's what comes into my head now. And so I'm going crazy over here watching hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of Hank and Bobby and and Peg and the whole gang, and I'm losing it.
I've been utilizing a PKA sponsor. I've been using YouTube Music, and I freaking love it. I really do. They're not a sponsor tonight, but I downloaded the YouTube Music app because it runs, as the ad read says, like in the background while my zone is up, and I'll just pick an artist and I'll listen to everything that fucking artist has ever made, and then I'll pick another one. But then sometimes you get into this zone running where your mind goes away, and all of a sudden I wake up, come to my senses, and I'm listening to some soft ass like 70s love ballad or something, and I'm just like, this isn't pumping me up. What happened to AC/DC? I was on Thunderstruck just a minute ago, and I look, and Thunderstruck was an hour ago, and it's fuck. All right,
just listening to some like Johnny Cash or something.
I'm okay with a little Johnny Cash, listen to when the man comes to town. Hear the trumpets, hear the pipers. I'm like, yeah, all right, let's go.
Another thing, like I've been doing more like boxing and shit.
Oh yeah, let's talk about your friend back there.
Yeah. And so I bought this guy off Amazon, my buddy here, and I wasn't as motivated as I wanted to be. And so what I did is I made him look Hitler-like,
Are the eyebrows you also?
The eyebrows are me also. Yeah, I drew the eyebrows.
He's a little Groucho Marxy.
And then if you can see,
or Charlie Chaplin,
he's got like dead eyes I put in there because I imagine that's how Hitler's eyes would look. And so I just my motivation was like, if I'm just boxing this random dude, I'm not getting anything out of it. I want to feel like I'm an easy company. I'm following Captain Winters into Bastogne. And I know it's going to be tough, but I'm going to make it unless I'm one of those guys who got their legs blown off, in which case I'm going to make it into Band of Brothers in the end. That's pretty cool. Yeah. And so I drew Hitler on him, and then I started hitting him, and I was like, I like this guy. And so it actually backfired. And so, I'm gonna have to draw someone else.
You just have too soft a heart to hurt Hitler.
Too soft a heart to hurt Hitler.
That authoritative face, that strong jaw, and look, that mustache grows on you after a while. Am I right?
Well, see, like if I draw him as Hitler or Stalin, then I start to get the fear that I'm going to be in the gulag. But then I get another kind of fear that pushes me further. I don't want to end up in the gulag or a concentration camp. And so I'm feeling a lot of different feelings, mostly directed by what Hank Hill would think about the situation.